Mark, welcome to Bradford. Why have you decided to take this opportunity, and just talk us through the timeline of events over the last few days, please?
Well, I'm delighted to be here. It's fair to say I've been out of the game for longer than I anticipated, if I'm honest. So this opportunity developed very quickly this week, and speaking with Mark the last couple of days, obviously spoke to him in regard to having a conversation about the role here once the previous manager departed, and asked if they want to have a conversation, and that's how we progressed, and very quickly we find ourselves here. So delighted to be here. I just view this as a really good opportunity. Bradford City, have a city club, got a great fan base. A fan base that we want to get energised and enthusiastic about what we're going to do in the future.
How excited are you by this challenge?
Yeah, it's a different sort of challenge. Clearly, it's at a level I've not worked at before, but I'm of the view that my skills are transferable. So I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we won't have the resources that I possibly had at some of the clubs I've been involved in, but that doesn't faze me at all. The support I've had up to this point has been great, and moving forward, I'm sure I'll get all the resources that I need to make us successful.
So you are confident you can make that adjustment, and how have the players reacted?
Well, I think it's a good response. We haven't started playing games yet, so that might change for players and supporters, but the intention is to do things in a good, solid, dependable way in terms of our work on a daily basis, and having obviously been in the game for a long time, I think I've got a good insight into what works and what doesn't. So I'm looking forward to see how they react to what I've got to say. I had some good meetings this morning, and had a good reaction from clearly the support staff, so I'll need their help obviously moving forward. So really looking forward to getting going. I think the key for me is match days, and that's what I've really missed more than anything is the adrenaline on the Saturday afternoon, and that's what I'm really looking forward to at the weekend.
And the period you've had out of the game, is that giving you time to sort of reflect and reset your goals and waiting for that right opportunity? Yeah,
it's fair to say I always felt that I needed to take a break after my last position at Southampton, so obviously I was doing that at the time. Obviously COVID, as we know, came for the last couple of years, so probably the timetable of my return was skewed somewhat, to say the least. So I've looked at certain opportunities. They weren't right just because of the timing of them, but this feels right. This gives me an opportunity to obviously look at the squad from now to the end of the season. The intention is to have a real go to try and get in the playoffs if we can. It will be difficult, it's fair to say, but that's what we'll try and do this season, and at least if we don't make that, at least we'll gain momentum moving into next year.
Mark, Jamie Rennie, nice to meet you. What specifically is it about Bradford City that has attracted you to the football club?
As I just touched on, it's the potential of the club, it's the fan base, the following, and the stature that this club has in this league. We're one of the bigger clubs in my view, probably a club that other teams like to come to and see if they can overcome. So to a certain extent we've probably got a little bit of a target on our back, so we have to be able to deal with that and make sure that we're ready for the challenge ahead of us. So I just think it's an opportunity for me to develop as well. Obviously it's not a level I've operated at before, but I'm intrigued to see how my skill set transfers.
What did your knowledge of this level lead to?
It's a league that's demanding. We understand that. It's physically, it asks questions of players and managers alike, and at times, and I'm sure people will tell you it's a bit of a slog. I mean, you've got to get through the hard work, and I think that's a given. But that doesn't faze me. It didn't faze me as a player. It doesn't faze me as a manager. I work exceptionally hard to try and be successful. So I try and instill that to the players as well.
How useful will that experience be from your playing days, your previous managerial managerial opportunities to handle that big expectation that exists at this football?
Yeah, well, I've always worked with expectation. I think sometimes other managers, for whatever reason, sometimes underplay the expectations, so it looks like they've overachieved when they know the potential of what they're working with. That's the level they should be at anyway. But I've always worked with expectations. Sometimes it can come back and bite you to a certain extent when you disappoint people. But I think fans want to know that you're trying to be successful. You're doing things to try and move the club forward, and you don't underplay the potential of the group you got.
And you mentioned finally your period out of management. You had to be selective in terms of waiting for the right opportunity, albeit at Bradford City.
Yeah, I've looked at opportunities. There have been opportunities when the timing wasn't right for me, but this, as it developed, it just started to make more sense to me on a professional level. And obviously, having spoken to Mark and the owner, it just helped to reinforce what I was feeling anyway about the club. So it's just really progressed very, very quickly, and I'm just really happy to be here and looking forward to the work in hand.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.